I do remember. Look, I do remember this. I don't want to embarrass the people there because I live to tell this story. But one time I did multiple events in Idaho, and it gets tricky on who's paying the transportation and all that. I have people who handle all this, and so
It's a good thing because you can't even keep up with your Bible.
So one event, they sent, because back then we were filming our little duck show.
Yep.
And I wasn't trying to be a diva, but based on time, I had no time to get there like you, because it is difficult to get there.
Yeah.
And so they're like, we want you to come. Maybe it was the Beards and Babies thing. I don't know. But I said, well, I have no time. So if you want me to come, somebody's got to send me a private plane. It's not about, because I just want to, because now I mainly go commercially or drive,
Right.
when I do events, because I'm not.
My driving window is getting bigger every.
Yeah, I'm not trying to gorge people out of money, but for a private plane. But back then, I just had no time.
Right.
They're like, we want to do it, so they're like, hey, we got sponsors and donors, we're going to make it happen. So, but then, when another venue heard that I was coming, they said, well, we want you to come. And I was like, well, hey, I'm gonna be there anyway, so let's do it. So long story short, I take a private plane. They sent a jet, and I mean a nice one. One of them kind where your head hits the back of the chair when it takes off.
It's like a rocket
and
ship.
You look up and you're like, well, I wonder how long this is gonna be. Oh, we're here. So I land, we do the event. So we go back to the airport because now I'm going to somewhere else in Idaho. Idaho's not a big place. Well, this other event, they're like, we're not paying for our plane to go to your event. So they have made other arrangements. So I was like, oh, we got a different jet. No, I'll go over there, and I'm not kidding. It was the equivalent of a crop duster plane. It had actual duct tape around one of the wings. My assistant looked at me, and she's like, you're on your own on this one. I don't even know if there's
I'll
room.
meet you there.
And I thought, can we not work something out? Because I could get in this plane, because I'm looking at the plane that I got here on. Yeah. I'm looking at it. I said, we could be over here in 5 minutes.
That's right.
I kid you not. Couldn't work it out.
Wow.
I thought, well, I got to get on this crop duster. And this old boy, I mean, he played the part. You can't make this up. He was like, well, I feel pretty good about it. I mean, this thing had a crash landing a couple weeks ago, but I think I got the kinks worked out. Don't be disturbed by the duct tape. And so here's what's funny.
That should be like a top 10 list of things you never want to hear as you're walking into the plane.
Here's the funny part.
Or crawling in.
Here's the funny part of this story. It took me longer to get from one city in Idaho to another in that crop duster than it did for the jet to pick me up from West Monroe, Louisiana and get me there. It was just, and we're just moving and bouncing. And I was so happy to be alive. I think it's one of the best speeches I gave because I thought I almost experienced the resurrection just on the way over here.
Guess what, folks? I just beat death.